Did you know you could build a full salary on passive income with just a few listings? Check out how this genius Etsy seller did exactly that by thinking outside the box. Hi, I'm Jess. I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure Etsy stores in various niches, getting sales like these and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in. Hey guys, welcome back to another Insights by Jess video. Before I jump into this, I just want to give a quick thank you to everybody who has helped me sort out these audio issues that I've been having on previous videos, and hopefully I've got it fixed. Hopefully I figured it out because I've been pulling my hair out trying to figure this out. So please comment below and let me know how the audio is going, how things sound, is it loud enough? Do I still sound like I'm recording in a tin can? You know, all the basics, just let me know. Let's get started with this video. This is a super cute store. I really liked this one because it's unique. It is a spreadsheet store, as you can already tell, but some of their products are really clever and really got outside the box with the way that they think about things and the way that they do things. But another reason I wanted to highlight the store is because they are not even a 2-year-old store and they've already been able to build a great steady source of income with only 28 listings. So that's pretty impressive, and it really inspired me to break the store down and see what exactly they got going on. And you really can tell that where there is value, people are willing to pay more for things. So they do have just a great variety of unique and somewhat interesting spreadsheet selections. So they have a pregnancy planner, they have a renovation planner. This one is actually pretty dang popular. It is a bestseller for 22 bucks, so that's really cool. And they have some other unique stuff. They got a property spreadsheet, they've got a bachelorette party planner, bachelor planner. So very, very cool, very outside the box thinking on this one. And before we dig too deep into any of their specific spreadsheets, let's take a peek at their Etsy store stats. So this store has 9,754 sales, and they are on average about $16. They do have some things that are selling for a little higher, and they of course have some things selling for lower in the $7 to $8 range. But based on what sells the most often, it put their average price point at about $16. Their first feedback, if we sort this by most recent and go to the very last page, their first feedback is May 27th of 2021. So we are just starting to approach the 2-year mark on this store. And as we can see, one of the first products that really started selling was their personal investor dashboard. And you can see that a lot, given the fact that they have 9,700 some odd sales in a 2-year time period at 16 bucks a piece. That puts their average approximate annual sales at $81,400 a year, which is pretty cool. That does not account for growth. So if their first year was a little slower than last year, then their current income is obviously going to be higher. But I like to be conservative, as I like to say all the time. I just split it equally amongst the years they've been open so that we can get a pretty underwhelming view of how much money these stores are making. Now that we know that they have managed to build up an $80,000 a year business in a niche that is mostly profit and very streamlinable in 2 years, in less than 2 years, let's take a peek at what they are actually doing here. This is one of their best sellers, and as you can see, it is an Etsy seller's automatic bookkeeping spreadsheet. So what this essentially does is you download your data from Etsy, from your seller dashboard, and then you upload that into this dashboard, and it will run that report automatically and give you all of this information. I know that sounds pretty technical. It's really quick and easy to set up. What's cool about this is it gives you a little bit more of a deep look into the data that Etsy provides to you. So they have a great main image here. It's colorful, it catches your attention. They've pulled Etsy's brand colors in here to really drive home the fact that this is for Etsy sellers. Their video is pretty simple. It's just kind of scrolling through the different screens of the dashboard here, so you can see what it comes with and what all it does. And then their other images here just break down the features and what it's got going on. You can see your profits dashboard for up to 24 months. You can add in additional expenses if you like. It says that it's an all-in-one, and it does come with growth metrics for marketers. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. And then it says it does marketing channel deep dives. So we're definitely going to talk about that, because what this seller thinks is a marketing channel deep dive is not what I think is a marketing channel deep dive, but we're going to get that out of the way in just a second. So this is a pretty neat idea, and I like this because this is very, very different from my Etsy Seller Success Workbook, which if you haven't seen it, go check out my resources link down in the description below and check that out, because it's very, very cool. It shows you how your store is growing each month, and it has some competitor research tools in there. So this is very different. This is completely focused on bookkeeping, but it uses the specific stats, the specific data that Etsy already gives you in your dashboard, and it breaks it down month by month so you can kind of see how things are going on a monthly basis. Now, what surprised me about this product is that as a longtime Etsy seller and with a husband who's in data science with a specialization specifically in consumer metrics, a lot of the information in this spreadsheet isn't really going to help you grow. It's nice to have this information, but it doesn't give you any actionable insight into what products are selling the best, what items customers buy together, how often do customers come back and buy from your shop again, or even what social media platforms are bringing you the most traffic. This marketing channel deep dive doesn't actually give us any of that information. So it really did surprise me that this product is so immensely popular that it's got a bestseller tag here, because it's really not that in-depth of information. It's hopeful information, and we may be able to see some trends when we're looking at our data side by side like this and see the numbers month over month, but it's not particularly mind-blowing information. So I feel like I'm throwing a lot of shade on this product, so I'm sorry if I'm being a little mean, but I am bringing this up because sometimes we think that our spreadsheet ideas have to be mind-blowing and that they have to provide a ton of value in order for anybody to be interested in our products. And I wanted to highlight this because what this product does, it doesn't provide any mind-blowing information at all. What it does is it takes information we already have and it puts it together in a different way so that we can see things we may not have seen when looking at it in the other format, in the format that Etsy's dashboard provides. So this isn't a revolutionary or transformative product. It's just changing things up, and it's doing a good enough job to get a bestseller tag. So we don't really need to go overboard to excel in this niche. Excel, see what I did there? But the truth is, you really just need to provide information that is unique or that goes beyond what other people are offering in their own spreadsheets. So when you are trying to break into this particularly saturated niche, you want to think outside the box in terms of what can you create that other people may not be creating. And to help you with your brainstorming, I have a freebie. It is called a Find Your Winning Product Brainstorming Sheet. That will help you get thinking outside the box based on things you're actually interested in already. Make sure you download that. My freebies link is down in the video description below, and there's lots of other goodies in there too. Make sure to check them out and buy me a coffee if you're feeling generous, because that always helps this channel grow. So it is those unique products like an Etsy seller bookkeeping dashboard, an investment tracker, a renovation tracker. All of these things are outside the box products. They're not the typical spreadsheets we see over and over and over again. If you were to go to Google, or if you were to go to Etsy and just type in spreadsheet, 90% of what's going to come up here is monthly budgeting, easy bookkeeping. We can see the wedding planner that we're looking at right now. And of course, Manja Sheets is popping up as a bestseller a lot because it's unique, and most of the other stuff tends to all be more of the same. This is actually also very unique. It's a reading tracker spreadsheet, and it is also a bestseller. So that really furthers the point that thinking outside the box is what is ultimately going to bring you sales in a super saturated niche like spreadsheets. So I think I've driven that point home enough. Let's take a look at their actual SEO. So in terms of SEO, this listing has done a pretty good job. They have a pretty well put together title with a good variety in their keywords. Pulling their title into my workbook here, we can see that they're using 133 out of their 140 available characters, so that is fantastic. And they have a great variety of words like small business planner, bookkeeping. Etsy seller, of course, is right at the beginning because that is very specific to what this product is. They have accounting in here, seller account because it's for your Etsy seller account. And they've just tried to take the most important terms in regards to Etsy sellers bookkeeping planning and put it together in the limited space they have. They have a decent appeal statement. It's very short, very to the point with their words. They have bookkeeping template again. They have plan, track, and grow your small business. So it is really appealing. It's like hitting on all of those things that we want to do if we're looking for a product like this, right? We want to plan our expenses, we want to track, and we want to be able to grow strategically. I'm not sure if that statement particularly applies to this product because it doesn't really help you plan a whole heck of a lot, but it definitely does help you track all of your costs and sales on Etsy with a really in-depth breakdown. And then after their short and to the point appeal statement here, they jump right into the Google spreadsheet and its features. So when you are writing your own appeal statement, keep in mind that you have 160 characters to get all of your keywords in there. So you want to focus in the first 160 on your main keywords. And that puts about this much of space here, a little bit less, probably about this much space. I'm just eyeballing this to have all the words that really matter. So they've got small business, they've got bookkeeping template, they've got Google spreadsheet. I would have probably tried to say small business as an Etsy seller, perhaps just to get that up here. It would have put it above Google spreadsheet, but in my opinion, Etsy seller is probably more important than the Google spreadsheet keyword. So that's probably what I would have chosen to do. Other than that, they did a really good job. Looking at their tags, they also have a great amount of variety here, and it does focus a lot more on Etsy in their tags. They have multiple, looks like 5 right here. Let's go down to the bottom. 1, 2, 3. So 3 down here, 5 at the top. So they have a good variety of Etsy specific tags. And keep in mind, I talked about this a few videos back. The way that Etsy is showing us these tags may not match exactly the tags that sellers are putting in anymore. For example, this is probably way more than 20 characters here where it says business expense spreadsheet, but it's probably something that Etsy buyers are typing into search a lot. So we may not get a great idea of the seller's exact tags, but we are getting a great idea of what people are typing in, what people are searching for, and that can help us just as much, if not more, then seeing what the sellers are using, because the sellers are also just guessing and doing their own SEO research on their tags. So what Etsy is giving us here in this new formatting is a lot more specific to what's actually working. So in general, they've done a good job on their Etsy SEO. They've got all the relevant tags. They've done a really good job of putting things together in terms of the words they choose for their title, their short little appeal statement here. And I wanted to look at another one of their most popular products. I'm not going to dig into their SEO, which is also pretty well done, by the way. But I wanted to show you this so that you can see the kinds of products people are really interested in and drive that point home that I've been making about thinking outside the box. So we saw this wedding planner in the search page that I showed you just a second ago. And this one also has a bestseller tag, and it says that it's in 6 people's carts. Now, this is somewhat of a seasonal product, meaning people are going to buy it to start planning their weddings. There is what is considered a wedding season, so you will, as a seller, get a higher volume of sales on this in the months leading up to wedding season, in the wedding planning season. And then the other months of the year, you'll probably get a few sales sprinkled in because people will take a variable amount of time to plan their weddings. So I'm bringing that up because I don't want you to see with certain items like this a dip in your sales and think that you're doing something wrong and that you need to make changes. Always consider if there's an outside factor, like perhaps if it's peak wedding season, people already have their weddings planned and they're not buying this so much anymore because it's wedding season, not wedding planning season. I don't know if that makes sense. I definitely need more coffee, but keep in mind the time of the year, if there's any seasonal changes or outside factors that could be affecting your sales that are completely unrelated to the product itself or the SEO itself or a potential problem with the item. So looking over their images really quickly, we can see that they've done a great job matching the colors here as well. They went more with wedding planning type colors, more of the pinks. They've got a little picture of a bride and groom on their wedding day here to pull in the fact that this is a wedding product. And they have a great video, a little short style vertical video that helps you see how to use this. And again, focuses on the fact that this is a wedding planner. So they're really trying to show you that they are simplifying the process of wedding planning for you. And if you've ever planned a wedding, you know that they can sometimes get really out of control with the planning. There's a lot of components and pieces to a wedding that can get overwhelming very quickly. So this is very, very smart in terms of giving you a single source where you can plan everything you need in one place. So very cool. And I love how this really breaks things down. It's a very similar style in terms of design as the Etsy spreadsheet here. We can see in terms of colors and the way that they've organized their tables, it's very, very similar. So it's really going over all the features so you can see how in depth this goes and how much more simplified it makes planning a wedding. So I really love this. I feel like they've done a great job focusing on all of the important aspects of this product. So that's really what it boils down to in the spreadsheet niche, is really being able to provide features that are going to be useful and helpful. And sometimes those features are relatively simple. They don't have to be a lot of charts and a lot of graphs and really digging in depth with analytics. Simple ideas can be hugely winning ideas if they are useful. So if you're thinking about getting into the spreadsheet niche, you have unlimited ideas of things that can be planned or things that can be organized in some way, shape, or form for new ideas that bring something unique to the spreadsheet niche. In fact, you should see how this creative store integrated spreadsheets with printable planners to build a huge variety of listings and bring in over $25,000 a month. Check that video out next.